the most complimented fragrances in my collection, designer edition. All of these fragrances can be found between that $50 and $150 price point. So if you're looking for a new designer fragrance that smells amazing, won't break the bank, but will get you noticed and bring in some compliments, I got you. This video is for you. You're going to stay tuned. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're doing well. My name is Todd, and here I primarily talk about fragrances, but also sprinkling some fashion and lifestyle content as well. So all about helping you show up as your best self by looking good, smelling good, and feeling good. Y'all know the vibes, man. So if you're interested in those type of videos, subscribe below for weekly fashion and fragrance content. Then make sure you hit the bell so you can stay notified anytime I post any new videos. Okay, let's jump into the list, y'all. We're gonna get things kicked off with an all-time classic. We have Bleu de Chanel by Chanel. This is the EDP, my preferred variation, but you can go with, any of the concentrations here. You like lighter and fresher, get the EDT. You want a little deeper, a little darker, go with the Parfum. But for me, the EDP has always been the perfect in between. And y'all, I've had this in my collection literally since it came out. So 10 plus years probably at this point. I think it came out back in 2013 or 2014. But nonetheless, I've always loved Bleu de Chanel because of its versatility. Great daily wear, especially for work or professional situations, because it's non-offensive, it's fresh, it's clean, citruses, and then, as it dries down, you get some woodiness, some amber. Just a perfect fragrance, y'all. Can get you through any situation, any season. Super versatile, but it also brings in a ton of compliments, and it stood the test of time with that for me, y'all. So 10 plus years ago when I first picked this one up and, was wearing it for, school and even work at that time, always has brought in compliments. And fast forward to today when I reach for this one, in current times for work or just kind of as a daily wear, still brings in those compliments, y'all. So one that I always recommend when it comes to lists like this, talking about compliments, because it always has gotten the job done. Tried and true for me. It's Bleu de Chanel EDP. Okay, y'all, this next one is low-key a sleeper, kind of a hidden gem. I feel like I don't see this one talked about as much, at least not anymore. From Dolce & Gabbana, it's Light Blue Eau Intense, and this is the version that's marketed to women. Now, the male marketed light blue, I wore it a lot in my younger days. I don't mind it, but to me it was always a little too sharp, I don't know, just didn't quite do what I needed it to do, but it did smell good still. However, this one here, y'all, telling you now, y'all, if you haven't smelled this one, get your nose on it. You can find it at discounters for a very good price, usually around 50 or 60 bucks. And for me, you still get the citrus in the opening like you do with the, male marketed version, but this one's way smoother. Like it's, you get this kind of citrusy lemon, but you also get green apple in here, so it's a little more fruity. As it dries down, you get some amberwood, you get some musk. Really, really nice, fresh, clean fragrance. Has the slightest powdery touch to it, y'all, and performs very well too. So nothing not to like with this one, at least for me. One that I definitely enjoy, especially for, summertime and warmer weather. But y'all, brings in so many compliments, and it's one that brings in a lot of compliments, specifically from the women. So do what you want with that information, y'all, but it's one that I always recommend when it comes to designer fragrances that pull compliments. Definitely check out Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. Okay, up next, one of my all-time favorite designer fragrances, and it also brings in a ton of compliments, so it's just a win-win. Paco Rabanne, 1 Million Lucky, y'all. I talk about this so much, but it's for good reason, because this one does everything right. It opens up kind of fresh, breezy. You also get some plum, so it's a little fruity. Dries down, it gets warmer, sweeter, almost gourmand leaning. So does that fresh but warm and sweet combo so well. And I always tell y'all, that's a winning combo when it comes to compliments, is that fresh, kind of clean, but then still warm and sweet. When you get the combination of those things, you're almost bound to get compliments, and this one proves that for sure. So always bringing compliments when I wear this one, y'all. And I oftentimes talk about, when I was on vacation a couple years ago in Mexico, I took this fragrance with me because it was perfect. Because again, it opens up kind of fresh in the opening, dries down, it gets warmer and sweeter, and it transitions so well with the weather. Because I went during the winter time, so it was warm during the day, but got a little cooler and breezier during the evening. So this transitioned well, and I got so many compliments out there. This was kind of my signature scent. I wore it, the entire week or so I was out there, mixed in with a couple other fragrances. It's one that always brings in compliments. You can find it for a pretty good price, and to be an EDT, performs very well. Y'all, check it out. Paco Rabanne, 1 Million Lucky. Next up, this is one of the best date night fragrances ever made in my opinion. It smells great, brings in a ton of compliments, and you can find it for a very cheap price. Just check it out, y'all. If you haven't already, Dolce & Gabbana The One EDP. I know you probably heard of it by now, especially if you follow my channel, because I talk about this one often. But y'all, it's worth it. I'm telling you. Just smells so good, and I don't know how many bottles of this I've been through at this point. This is a newer bottle I picked up maybe a few months ago, right after summer, going into fall. I picked up a new bottle because I finished my previous one, and y'all, I'll always have this one in my collection because to me it's the perfect date night fragrance. It lasts about 4 to 5 hours, and I know that's probably the only knock on it is the performance, but for me, at this price, if you need it to perform longer or do more, spray it a little heavier. You can spray a little bit on your clothes even, or decant it out. Take a 5 ml decanter so that you can get on Amazon, an empty one, fill it up with this and take it with you as you go if you need to kind of refresh. But from the smell, y'all, it's slightly aromatic in the opening, but it dries down to something warmer, ambery, kind of sweet. Just the perfect date night fragrance, y'all. My fiance loves this one. She always compliments it every time I wear it, but also just get complimented by a lot of women in general when I wear this one. So very well done. It's not too overpowering or doing too much. It's just perfect. So if you need a new date night fragrance that isn't going to break the bank, but it's going to bring in a lot of compliments and just do exactly what it needs to do, y'all, Dolce & Gabbana The One EDP. We're about halfway through the list, y'all, and this next one is another date night banger, but especially if you want to smell a little more unique and interesting. And it comes from Tom Ford. It's no other than Noir Extreme. And y'all, I always tell the story about when I first smelled this one. I was just blown away. Truly was intrigued, wanted more, and I had to get it when I first smelled it. So it's one of those fragrances, y'all, that is definitely warm and has this sweetness, but there's so much more going on. You have some saffron in here, so you get this nice unique spice in it. Also has this coffee note, which this one has become kind of known for, which is a dessert-like note, right? Almost gives off a slightly, I guess, ice cream vibe is what they say. But all in all, this one is blended so well. So to me, you never get one note necessarily more than the other, but just a very well blended, warm, ambery, slightly spicy, and floral fragrance, right? So some orange blossom rose in this one. So it definitely has this very sensual vibe, this elevated vibe. And to me, it's just the perfect date night fragrance if you want to smell different, but still smell good. And this one always brings in so many compliments from me, y'all, when I wear it out on date night. Of course, my fiance loves it, but again, I feel like I'm just always complimented by people when I wear this one because it's something that most people haven't smelled before, right? So it's kind of, deep, dark, a little mysterious, but still very likable in my opinion. And I think it gets the job done in terms of performance as well. So highly recommend you check out Tom Ford Noir Extreme. This next one is newer, so it's a 2025 release, y'all, and I've talked about it a lot this year. When it comes to compliments, y'all, this one literally pulls them pretty much every time I wear it. No exaggeration. And it's Valentino Born in Roma Uomo Extra Dose. And the thing is here, y'all, again, this is a list about compliments, so this isn't my favorite fragrance. I don't hate it. I enjoy it. I like it. I think it's nice, but not my favorite fragrance by any means. But if you're talking about compliments, this fragrance just gets the job done, y'all, and I think it's partially because of the performance. So if you're someone who likes beast mode fragrances, you like things that perform, that project, that you can smell and that others are going to smell very clearly too, this is the fragrance off this list for you to get, because I honestly think, like I said, it's a very pleasant scent profile, nothing new or groundbreaking, right? I think the main reason this one brings in so many compliments is because it projects, it performs, and you're going to get noticed. People are going to smell you when you wear this one with even just a handful of sprays. So definitely beast mode, kind of that fresh, clean vibe, but as it dries down, it has some spiciness. You get a little warmth to it too. So very similar to Born in Roma, intense in my opinion, but I feel like the vanilla that's in there is maybe a little sweeter, and this one's just like a little more warm and rich. It's like more of an ambery feel. But all in all, again, not the most groundbreaking fragrance at all, but it pulls compliments, and I tell you, every time I've worn it, I literally have pulled a compliment of some sort. So Check this one out if you like beast mode fragrances and want compliments. This next one is for my elegant gents out there. For those that like to smell refined, put together, and just smell elegant, right? Of course, you can wear a fragrance whenever you want, anytime, any reason. That's, you know, up to you to decide. But certain fragrances just work a little better in certain situations, and this is one I feel like works really great in elevated situations. It's Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. This one here, y'all, anytime you're dressed up a bit, you don't have to be in a suit, but if you are, that works. But just anytime, you know, maybe you have a nice sweater on, some slacks, or, you know, nice pair of boots, you're going out for a nice evening with, you know, your significant other. This fragrance here, I only wear it usually in those situations, and y'all, when I tell you, every time it hits, I'm getting compliments, smelling great. It's a great performer, so it's going to cut through any weather. I think this one is best for cool and colder weather, but y'all, such an elegant fragrance because it has that iris in it, right? So, you know, much like kind of Dior Homme Intense, or, you know, even Valentino, the Valentino Intense, I can't remember the exact name of it, but the black bottle from, you know, the one that came out a long time ago, based around iris. That one has vanilla in it, but this one is the most intriguing of the iris, you know, designer iris fragrances that I've smelled, because it has this boozy whiskey note, but then also gets ambery. There's chestnut in here, so it's a slightly nutty vibe. Y'all, a phenomenal fragrance that you can usually find for under $100. I think it's an absolute steal, and very, very heavily complimented, right? This is one that people just love on me. Overall, it's just a very elegant fragrance, y'all. So anytime you're a bit more dressed up, you know, you and your lady got your, you know, your best on, you put a good fit on, going out for a nice evening in cooler or colder weather, this one is going to work wonders. You're going to get compliments, and you're going to smell just very elegant and different than everyone else. So check out Gentleman Reserve Privé by Givenchy. Okay, just a few fragrances remaining here, y'all. And this next one, I'm gonna keep it brief because I talk about it so much. It's just a classic, one of the best cheap vanilla fragrances you can get. It's Mercedes-Benz Club Black, y'all. Again, all about vanilla. You get some benzoin, slight incense vibe as well, so a touch of smokiness, but just such a warm, rich, inviting fragrance that brings in so many compliments, y'all. There's not a time that I wear this fragrance that I don't bring in a compliment. It's so cozy, it's so inviting, it's so warm. Women love this fragrance, y'all. I'm telling you. You can usually find it for around or less than $50. If you don't have it in your collection and you like warm, sweet, or vanilla fragrances, just do yourself the favor. Pick this one up. Thank me later. You got Mercedes-Benz Club Black. Okay, from YSL, this next one is Myslf Le Parfum. And y'all, I talk about this one often too. One of my favorite kind of daily grab and go fragrances because it's fresh and clean to an extent without a bunch of, you know, citrus notes, because I, again, have that love-hate relationship with citrus. So this one here, really heavy emphasis on that orange blossom. So kind of a floral freshness that you get that this line is known for, but you get the addition of some, you know, bourbon vanilla, a slight spice as well, a little woodiness as it gets to the far dry down. And y'all, just a fragrance that does everything well, performs very well, beautiful scent profile, and it brings in a ton of compliments, y'all. This one is one, like I said, I wear it kind of grab and go for daily. So when I'm, you know, running to appointments or running errands, I usually spray this one on, and it never fails. I feel like people always compliment it. They're always drawn to it, and they're always a bit intrigued by it. And I think it's because, you know, definitely one of those fragrances that's a bit more unisex. Does have that orange blossom, that floral vibe mixed with the vanilla, but to me, straight down the line, I think it's perfectly unisex, even slightly masculine as it dries down. But all in all, y'all, you want a fragrance that you can wear in any season, for any reason, that performs well and is going to bring you a lot of compliments. Gets no better than this one here, Myslf Le Parfum. Okay, and last but not least, y'all, finishing with a classic, another one that I've had in my collection, it seems like forever at this point. Recently picked up a new bottle of it as well, and this is YSL's Nuit de L'Homme. Y'all, it just gets the job done. It just works time and time again. It's tried and true for me. Has always gotten the job done, brought in a lot of compliments, and it just smells so good, y'all. It's all about cardamom, so you get this nice, slightly fresh but warm and sweet spice. And I always said I get like this apple vibe a little bit in the opening too, so it's like an apple, like cinnamon or apple spice vibe that I feel like I get. Dries down, you get some woodiness in it, but all in all, y'all, very simple fragrance, but just cardamom done so right. And I think this one is a staple in any man's collection, especially if you want things that are going to be highly complimented. So tried and true and tested. I've had this one in my collection for so long, and I feel like from, you know, way back when it first came out, when I purchased it, was wearing it, always brought in a lot of compliments, and fast forward to now and kind of everything in between, always brings in compliments, y'all. And I love wearing this one in the fall specifically, because it's just one of those fragrances that reminds me of fall. Again, that kind of, you know, fresh spice, you know, cardamom, like I said, with the slightly fruitiness that I get in the opening. I could just be making that up, but almost gives me like this apple cinnamon vibe. So one I'll always love, and one that people has always loved on me. It's YSL Nuit de L'Homme. Be sure to like and subscribe if you found this video valuable, and then leave me a comment below. Let me know what are some of your favorite designer fragrances that bring in a ton of compliments.